This video shows you how to use the document upload survey. So we're going to start here at the main screen, top left-hand corner, 3 lines. Click on library. We're going to drop down to the GSPOC library. And you can find it in here. It's called GSPOC Document Upload Standalone Survey. Standalone survey simply means that you are not going to add this in to your existing registration survey. That's really important here because the way it's built, it would not get along well with that. The idea behind not connecting the two is it makes it more flexible for users and vastly easier on the other side when it comes to pulling data from the results of this. So I am going to go over here to the right-hand side. I'm going to copy, of course, your library. Of course, I'm going to put it under training. You'll put it under registration. This is where yours needs to be. Mine will be under training. And we're going to leave that the same. Go back to your library. Make sure you're switching libraries. Remember, you may never, ever, ever modify anything in the GSPOC library. Go to your library to find what you just built. So mine's in training, yours is in registration. Right here, document upload standalone survey. Just for ease of use, I'm going to go in here and edit it here. So this is slightly more complicated than we're used to with the other ones. That's because we're handling files. Files are always more complicated. So first things first, district check. Does a student currently attend a Fort Worth ISD school? Do not modify this section in any way. In-district student, do not modify this section in any way. Out-of-district information, do not modify this section in any way. Here's where we're going to modify, under documents. Anything above this, if you modify it, it will damage the integrity of the survey. It will make it possibly non-functional. So documents, this block right here is the only one we're going to mess with. And I gave you a note. You may add as many file upload questions as you'd like in this question block. When you view your data from data analysis, where's that? Very top of your eventual survey. You can add the appropriate columns for the files, download by clicking the file name. Anything you add will not be translated automatically. We're going to go to the survey options and add translations. So it says delete this question. To do that, I'm going to click on the red button. It's going to pop down to my trash down here. That's fine. We can leave it there. No one will see it. Documents, student birth certificate. Maybe you want to add to this. Maybe you want to say, or you want to change it, student's birth certificate. Go for it. You can modify this document section. Left-hand side, it's called a file upload. You want to force a response, perhaps. Maybe you don't. I would caution against forcing responses in this one, simply because if you force a response, then all of a sudden, if the kid doesn't have that document, for example, students that might not have their original birth certificates, they were born in a place where they don't have access to it, or a social security card or something like that, then all of a sudden you make it so that the student or the parent cannot upload anything because you forced the response. So I would really caution against forcing a response. Let's add one. Let's say multiple choice. We want to go to file upload, and we might say student's social security card. And we want to make sure, at least for what we do over here, we need to have both the front and the back. So we're going to say front. Okay, so again, we don't want to force a response here because then we might run into a kid who doesn't have one. It's going to be a problem. So let's add another one. Change it. File upload. Student's social security card back. Okay, and so on and so on. Just keep clicking, changing it to a file upload. Parent ID. Remember though, in that note, it said whatever you add in here will be added in English. You need to modify it in Spanish as well. And so over here, under XM, go to the bottom, survey options. The only survey option when you modify a survey from your library is going to be translation. And so this one, I met you halfway. If you check over it and you don't like how it's written, go ahead and modify it. But if you click on Translation Overview, you'll see that we've got some missing translations here. I've translated the top part for you, but the stuff we added just now is missing. And so I'm going to go back and click through my questions just to double check. Remember, you can't really hurt anything within the translation side. So now it says, so okay, it's a red, click my red dot. Disclaimer, this is using an auto-translate through Google Translate. Make sure you double check it. Okay, if that works for you, go on. Now, if you look at the top left when I click on the next one, it's saving automatically for me, see that? So it's telling me this is an autosave. However you want to do this. Whenever you're happy with it, I know a lot of things in there need to be changed, but for the sake of this, we're just going to say it's good. We're going to go through, make sure everything's translated properly, and then I'm going to go, once I'm complete with everything, I'm happy with everything, you can go back and add more stuff if you want to, or you can go back to your library. That's what we're going to do here. So now I'm in my library again. How do I deploy this survey? It is a standalone, which means I'm not going to add it to anything else. That would be a really bad idea. So I'm going to go to my 3 lines. I'm going to go back to my projects. You would be operating under GSPOC registration. I'm going to be under my test folder because it's a training session. Whatever the folder you're in, you're going to do the same step. You're going to click on the top right-hand corner, Create Project, create a survey from scratch, and get started. We're going to say Alice Carlson document upload. It's up to you what you rename it. You'll put it here in your registration folder. It's going to be in my test folder because of the training session, but you're going to put it in your registration folder. And I'm going to, instead of creating a blank one, I'm going to go down here, use a survey from your library. Click that. Select your library. Select the folder where you kept it. For me, I got too much stuff. It's going to be training. You'll pull from registration, but you're going to pick that one you just did, document upload. Click Create Project. Let it crunch the numbers. And so it pulled in the questions. This is no longer linked to your library. This pulled in the questions. So if you do need to make any adjustments, you can do so here. Remember though that if you make any adjustments, you have to modify the translation. So let me show you how to do that. Left-hand side. Survey options. If you want to modify display name and all that sort of thing, go nuts. Translations, let's just double check. Click my overview. It doesn't like the title and the description. That's fine. We don't need to have that in Spanish. It doesn't really matter. But make sure that all your questions, okay, we're happy. So back in my survey builder, I can preview here. But we're just going to move on and publish. Remember, anything that you type in the preview, it's going to be returned as data, so you're going to have to delete those previewed things. So if you upload stuff yourself, just remember to go and delete your own responses. I'll show you in a moment. To publish it, obviously click on Publish. If Publish is blue, that means that something has not been published. Ignore all of this. Click Publish. You can copy the link. You can click Copy Link. But that's what you're going to give your families. I'm going to go up here. I can see distributions. To get that link again, under anonymous link, ignore emails, personal, link, social media offline. You can use the QR code, absolutely. Those all work. Okay, so let's do a little extended version of this. Go to the survey And let's preview it, because I'm going to show you how the data comes through. Let's say no, just for the sake of privacy. Smith, John, date of birth, 03/03/2003. And the way this is going to be presented to the user is they can upload or drag and drop. So we're going to put in, I don't know, you guys are seeing my hard drive here, that's kind of funny. But let's go to the last newsletter I did for tabs. I'm going to put in a picture of gloves with a little heart. Okay. So that's going to be uploaded, and they can upload pictures, PDF files, whatever else. So once we've uploaded things, once they've put things there, click on the next button. It's done. So we can close this. And so now we can see how this data comes through under data and analysis. Now it's going to take a minute because it is pulling in a file. So the magic of online video editing, we are going to do a time lapse here. Okay, welcome back. We have one response just recorded, and it doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to add in some columns. I want to add in student last, student first, right? Maybe I want to add in this embedded file, whatever. I can add some embedded data, but I can just basically pull those things in pretty easily. And I'm going to really add in what I want to add, which is student's birth certificate. And I want that ID one because I want to pull John Smith's. I'm going to click on that. And it's going to download. It just downloaded. You didn't see it, but it popped it right here. And so that's the file that it pulled in, downloaded my computer. I can also export all of these. I don't think this is as helpful because it does scramble these names. It's really hard to kind of hunt for them, but you can export data, but you're going to click on user submitted files. It's going to dump you a zip file of all the files that were submitted. But for my money, it's way faster to just click on the file name. So remember, you're going to add these columns, set these columns up properly, and it's just going to be a kind of hunt for it till you get the one you want. But that's basically how it works. You want that ID one, so you can click on and download it. That's it.